Okay, first we'll get rid of the excess. We'll delete these lines, these circles. Next we're going to create center lines. So I'm just going to use snap to this and come straight down to x0. Do the same thing on this end. Now we need to move our coordinate system to the front of the part. So go edit and move. We're moving from, so pick from point. We're moving this end from there to Z0. And we'll window the part. Now we're in position to cut. First thing we do is face, but I'll get to that in a minute. Next thing I'm going to do is extend the geometry out beyond so we get an overlap. So we'll go geometry, trim and extend. I'm going to pick this line somewhere between the middle and the end. You don't want to pick on the end, you might get this line. If you pick the middle, you might accidentally get the other side to divide. So we're going to go here and distance. Next thing we're going to do is create a work step. Rough turn. You can see the heavy yellow region representing rough material. Pick your tool. You can pick from a library, any one of these tools. You can create your own tools. Change values on the fly and not even go in the library. If you have questions on any of the fields, you can use the question mark, click on the field. You can click on the field and get updated graphics here. I'm leaving a finish allowance. Depth of cut, 1/4 inch. I'm using units per rev. This would be units per minute. Now after we made the work step, we'll go to our path. I'm going to use curve chain, and I'm going to pick again middle and end, so we're going to pick in between there, and we'll come right up to here. Now we'll verify. You can show the tool. Now it didn't come out here because I didn't extend. I get two options. I can go back to path, use a linear move, and extend it up here, or I can go in here and change the boundary to manual, and the outer diameter, let's go 4.125. Take a 3D preview. That's our rough. Now let's go back and we'll do that facing operation. We know our OD is 4.125. So we're going to go to work step. You can use new profile or new face profile, whatever you're comfortable with. They both will work. I'm going to use the same tool. Take off our finish allowance. Now let's say I want to have a couple of passes on the front face. You can use total stock. We could say there's 20 thousandths of stock, and we're going to take it in 10 thousandths increments, so I get 2 passes. Now we go to our path linear move, and we're starting at Z0 x of 4.125, and we're coming down to x0. There's our straight line. So I started here when I made the curve, and I'm looking down to the end of the curve. I want the tool as I'm looking down on the left side. So let's go back into the operation, offset direction left. That's exactly what we need. You would know if you made a mistake. If this was right, it'll give you an error message. Now I want to put the facing operation to the top of the OD, rough OD. So I'm going to use the left and right arrow keys on my keyboard, select it, and then it moves up in the order. Next we're going to do a finish profile. So I'm going to go to work step, new profile. Now the profile can be either an OD turn or an ID. So we'll go finish turn. I'll use the same tool. Take off our total stock. Now, I don't want to have to recreate the curve, so I just go in here and I say copy path and select the rough OD path. Again, we have a mistake. If we start our tool path here, we want our tool on the right side. Otherwise, that would have been a bore. Next, we're going to drill a hole to the end. Let's just find out how far we have to drill. It's close to 3 inches, so maybe 3¼ Then we have to find out what the ID is. So it's 109, so we'll go with a 1-inch diameter cutter. Drill rather. So we'll go with the drill operation. Depth of cut 3.1. Let's see, I said 3¼ If you want a peck, you put in your peck. Change this to a drill. Let's see, that drill diameter is 1 inch, so we'll add that. Tool number 2, offset 2. Now if I need to go back to my offset because I didn't use that on the first tool, so we'll just go through the operations. You can see I'm clicking on them and it's updating here. Now we have to make a path. We have to tell it where in here we're drilling. So I'm just going to use a rapid move and snap the rapid point right there. Verify. 3¼ worked out for me. Now we're working on a bore, so maybe we want to take a look at the bore. So we'll go in to work post, stock setup, 3/4 view. That's just extra stock holding from the chuck. We can change that. This is another good exercise. 3D simulation stock curve, and the length we could say is 3.125. Okay, I gotta get the OD right. Forget about that. We'll make that, I think it was 290, but anyway, we'll make it 3. So that gives us some material for face operation on the back side. Now we'll extend our geometry here to the end of the part. So we'll go to geometry, trim and extend. And we're going to click the back side of the part. No, I didn't need to go that far. I just want to, because we're flipping it around. Now we're going to do a rough bore. Now we want it to cut through the other end, so we'll go manual just like we did the last time. and our inner diameter is actually 1 inch. And now we get the extra pass. Okay, now we're going to use a sub spindle. So we're going to go edit, we're going to go move, we're going to go from the front of the part to the back of the part, and we're going to choose sub spindle in the list box. So if we take a look at that, work step. Now we're going to go back to a face operation. Now you're basically going to manually turn this around in the chuck. So we're going to go back, face. That'd be tool 1, offset 1. Maybe put in a total stock of 200 thousandths. 5. Half linear. Z, let's see, we'll go from there, and that would be 4.125 down to 0. And verify. Okay, our coordinate system, MCSID, is now the sub spindle, or back of the part, if you will. See that again. Our drill needs, there we go, that's fine. Next thing we need to do is run a bore. So we'll go with a rough bore. Okay, now we're going to go back in there. We're going to go to manual, calculate. Notice those values weren't accurate, so I hit calculate. And then our inner diameter is going to be 1 inch. And we need to finish, and then we're done. So go back, profile. I'll go back, finish. Now it's still on the left side. What you got to do is you got to picture flipping this part around. The express isn't quite as easy as the turn, I guess. You could program one side in one turn document, one of these, and then you could rename it and say backside, and then you just flip the geometry around so this is actually in the front, and then program it just like you would the first side. So I guess there's two options, but I like to see the whole part machined in one document and be able to have all of my operations in one document. So this would be left side. Take off our finish allowances. Sub spindle stays active. And then we have to copy our path. And this part is complete. Now if I want to post my G-code, I would turn off the back operations, hit post. I'm just going to show the G-code, save that. So as you can see, we posted the first 5 operations. Then we turn these off by right mouse clicking on them. Turn on the back operations, and when I hit post, you can see it scroll through as you hit post, and now it did the back operations. You can look in your spreadsheet if you're not using the library where it would have already had your presets. So we're using tool 1 offset 1, our drill is tool 2, so we're turning with tool 1 and boring. So yeah, our boring bar is number 3, our drill is number 2, our back to our turn is number 1. So that's a good way of verifying it. And that concludes this video.